Hey guys, what's up? It's Carmela Maniac. If you're new to my channel, sit down, take off your coat, and warm yourself by the fire for a little bit, because today I'm going to be reacting to, by very popular demand, Raye's live performance of Oscar-winning Tears at the Royal Albert Hall. That was a whole mouthful. So without further ado, let's get into the song, because I've already yapped in the previous video about who Raye actually is, where I reacted to her song Where Is My Husband. So if you're curious, go check it out. Let's listen to the song. Okay, I was not expecting this level of orchestra or basically symphony that started this off here. That's crazy. She's got a whole ensemble. I'm excited to see where this goes. With a whole conductor too. Now, some of you may not know, but I do play violin, and I did play in a symphony a couple times when I was in high school. So the fact that a very popular artist like Raye is using this in one of her popular songs is pretty cool to me. And I'm also wondering who arranged this whole piece for Raye. This is kind of giving me, I don't know if you've ever heard of vocal concertos or voice concertos, I'm not sure what the correct term is, but a concerto is where there is a solo part for a certain instrument, like a violin or any other instrument really, and it is backed by a whole symphony or orchestra. So basically, we'll see where it goes, but this is basically a vocal concerto by Raye, and that's pretty cool. It's like a whole soundtrack. Actually, that's exactly what it is. It sounds like a soundtrack, not like a classical piece.
Give a warm heartbreak welcome to the wonderful.
The most dramatic entrance. I love it. Also, right there, it like switched. It was like, it sounded very movie soundtrack like in the beginning there, but then once she came in, it switched to like a show tune again, which is like the previous song I reacted to, Where Is My Husband. I was kind of hoping that the kind of movie soundtrack quality continued a little bit, but I'm gonna see where it goes and we shall see what happens.
I learned my lesson then, thought it was safe again, thought he was innocent, I was so wrong.
This is definitely more of a show tune than a movie soundtrack. That's not true. It's less classical inspired and more maybe movie or show tune inspired now.
I can't deny I was stuck in a daze, a terrible fate.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a soundtrack that would be in a 007 movie or a Mission Impossible movie. I don't know if you've ever heard the Billie Eilish song No Time to Die, something like that. That's exactly what this reminds me of. It's cool. Was that a choir? It is. She has a symphony plus a choir behind her. This is a huge production, and I still want to know who arranged all of this, because it's kind of a lot of work, but also not. But it is for this scale of things, if that makes sense.
Baby, baby, you can go ahead, cry those Oscar.
I was just wondering, in a song like this, do they have like a dedicated bass? And there is. If you just saw it, there's like an actual band that consists of like a guitar, bass guitar, drums, blah blah blah, which gives the song that beat that it needs to kind of keep going and make it less of a film soundtrack. And I do appreciate the rhythm and the beat that is used behind this song. It really gives that kind of desperate, emotional ballad type of feeling that is really cool, and I love so much when singers use that type of thing, because it's a song where it's so much easier to convey emotion with, and she's doing a great job doing that, so it's something that I can definitely appreciate.
It didn't have to be. Look how you talk to me, cursing and blasphemy, cinematography.
You know, that is interesting. I expected this song to be very vocally heavy because it has this huge symphony, band, and choir behind it. And also because when I think of a vocal concerto, which this basically is, I think of something that is very vocally heavy. So it's interesting here that she's kind of like rapping a little bit instead of singing. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. I changed my mind again. I needed to listen to the song again. I actually quite enjoy the kind of rapping style she has here, which she also used in Where Is My Husband. She uses an actual note when she sings those more rapping lines, if that makes sense. So it's not just rapping, she's actually singing, and it is dramatic and it does have a lot of passion, and I actually appreciate that. And it does live up to the expectations of this kind of grand performance in a way that I didn't really know was possible and didn't really appreciate until I listened to the song again. Actually, yep, that was incredible. Like I said, they built her up to the chorus, and then we had some tension with the da-da, da-da type of stuff. And then right after that, we get a great bit of dynamism because almost everything cuts out, and she has a very tender moment where she sings this little melody note here. And I think that's really cool because it perks up your ears and you're like entranced by this performance, and you're like, oh my god, now what's gonna happen? And then she does this really like intimate, tender moment, and that's really well done. And it culminates in that spot right there. It culminates. That whole build up into the chorus culminates right there. And it's such a sweet little release when everything cuts out again. Like I said, that little dynamism that comes forth. The song had great form right there. The song has great form and great arrangement. I mean, how can you not with this whole like symphony, choir, and band behind you? The arrangement has to be on point for the entire song, and they didn't miss.
Camera, please, I know I'm gonna believe this, and no, I can't deny.
You know who she also reminds me of just a little bit, and I know people are probably going to get mad at me for saying this? Amy Winehouse. Just a little bit. They have the kind of same vocal quality, the same vocal timbre. They sound just a little bit similar. When she was singing there, she had a lot of shaking qualities to her, which is a style of vibrato. She kind of just like went up in notes, and also continued to use vibrato. It was very controlled. It was just very interesting style. Something you don't hear like ever. It was just such a weird combination of using vibrato while also transitioning from your chest voice to your head voice and kind of going up the scale, obviously, but it was very intentional, filled with very fast vibrato, just a style that is very interesting and different. I really like that part where they kind of do like a da-na, da-na type of thing.
You can go ahead, cry those Oscar-winning tears.
So dramatic. She does that really well, is like creating a lot of suspense in moments to really get your attention. And it's a great way to kind of like break up the rhythm of the song. So, you know, you have your like normal song tempo, and then right there you kind of get a break. It's like you're going from this, then you go da 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 da. I don't know. That's cool. Someone in my comments in the last video mentioned how she can actually do some scatting, and I think right there I heard some scatting, and that was really cool. Very creative, and you could tell she's basically a master in her artistry because she can follow the key of the song, and she might have improvised that just a little bit, or she might have come up with that little vocal scat by herself and then practiced it and then used that later on in this actual performance. And I'm almost pretty sure that is like her own creation, and that's really cool. I love when singers just kind of use their voice to improvise a little bit on the song, and you can really tell they have that creative ability in themselves to be able to do that. It's really great. I don't know if you've ever played music or done anything like that, but it feels great to just kind of let your voice or your instrument kind of float along with the music as it's going on and create a beautiful one-of-a-kind melody. So that's basically what she did there, and I really admire that. And when you do those kind of one-of-a-kind melodies, It really comes from the heart, and you can really tell how much emotion you get to put into that melody because it's your own and it comes purely from the music and nothing else, and obviously from inside of you. But you can really feel that when a singer or a musician does it. You can really feel that emotion coming from them. You can tell she knows the song, she likes the song, she enjoys singing the song, and it just shines through, and she does a great job adding a level of creativity that makes this song so popular. She is an artist. What? Do you understand how much air you need to be able to sing a note with that much intensity for that long? You do not understand the level of training that takes to be able to do that kind of thing. That was crazy. Let me watch that again. You can hear that breath she took to be able to sing that long notes. And that's something that you have to learn how to do, is to be able to take that amount of breath in with just that short little breath to be able to sing that long note. Like that first half is like, yeah, cool, great. But then she goes down, and then she has a second wave that she goes out with. That's crazy, and a lot of practice that takes. Also, like I was saying earlier, how I expected this to be very vocally heavy. I was wrong. I stand corrected. I would expect exactly this type of vocally heavy stuff to be in a song like this. So that is where the vocally heavy part I was looking for was. I think that this is live. Like, sometimes I'm wondering, are they lip syncing? But no, this is live, and that right there, you could tell, because it wasn't perfect, but it did come from the soul. And there's something so different about that, the way that she just sung that melody. It was definitely not traditional, and I definitely expected it to be more of a smoother vocal run, maybe something that like Beyonce would do, like a very smooth vocal melody run. But this was a little bit different because she kind of slid here and there around notes and wasn't as clear about the melody or the notes that she used in that run there, which is definitely interesting. I don't know if she did that on purpose, if that's part of her style, or if she was just a little bit nervous. I don't know. I don't know her that well to know if she sometimes gets nervous. I mean, everyone gets nervous while performing, but some people just don't get as nervous. I don't know. I think I would have to listen to her more to see if that is her style or if she was a little bit nervous. I changed my mind. I think it's definitely her style. It was a mix between the clean melody run that Beyonce would do and a little bit of sliding, which is her own style. So I think that was definitely on purpose and definitely her style. And kudos to her for having a different type of style, for bringing a different style to a more traditional song like this. So yeah, cool. She's doing something different. I appreciate that. One thing that's interesting is sometimes when I expect her to hold out a note because it would make sense in the context of the melody or the song, she doesn't. She just keeps it short and then she moves on, which is something different and makes you pay attention. Maybe that's why I was wanting a little bit more from this song when I first listened to it, because she has an unusual style where she, again, like I said, she cuts some notes short when I expected her to hold it for longer. And I think that's just something that just catches your attention and maybe doesn't necessarily make the song worse. But in a song like this, where the emotion is high and you need to carry that drive throughout the entire song, I personally would want to hold those notes out longer. But that's just my personal style and my personal opinion. Objectively, it does have that drive through the entire song. Subjectively, I wish she held out certain notes longer. Right there, that little melody run, first couple notes get a little lost on me. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but then she kind of flows along with it, and then the song and the key and the context makes sense. Interesting. because it feels like such an emotional driven song, it is in a more of a minor key instead of a major key, so it sounds kind of desperate and kind of dark and sad. I love when songs are like that, but that's just personal preference because I don't really like songs that are major and too happy. The real emotion is the deep, dark, and desperate emotion. So they knew that and how to tap into that, and they did a great job with that. Also, I love the feeling that a choir can bring to back a singer. It is just something so special that can be especially heard sometimes in a church setting, in a church choir setting. Some of the passion that those songs have is absolutely insane, and it's pretty great that Raye was able to tap into that here with her choir that backs her up. What a great decision. I don't know what it would be without the choir backing her up. It was one of the best decisions that was ever made. It's great. I love the sense of passion and urgency and support that the choir brings to her. It's absolutely amazing. All in all, great song, great arrangement. I don't know what else I expected because she had a whole symphony and choir and band behind her, so the arrangement, like I said, had to be on point, and it was. She did a great job of conveying emotion with her voice throughout the entire song, and even though I was a little doubtful of her ability to convey emotion when she was kind of rapping those words a little bit, she still was able to imbue her performance with emotion, even in those less assuming parts. So great job to her. And I also really loved the way that she kind of followed the song with her voice. She went with the flow, used her voice and her creativity to really put so much emotion into the song and bring a level of artistry that is absolutely incredible. And you can tell she enjoys singing this song, and I mean I would too, because it's a good song and it's deep and it's dark and it's emotional. Just a personal preference that I wish she held out certain notes longer, and I maybe wish that the song was just a little bit more vocally heavy, but still can appreciate the little rapping parts. She's obviously an incredible singer because you saw how she handled that long note. Again, like I said in the last video, she has a lot of range and she uses all of it in her music, especially this one. And she has great control over her head voice and she's able to do these really pretty runs here and there. And I do appreciate that she has a different style. She doesn't do like a clean little vocal run like Beyonce would. Like I said before, she has her own style where she kind of slides in and out of things, which I would say is maybe a little bit more jazzy inspired. And that's really cool. She's doing something different. And again, like I said, I love the quality her voice has. She can be really deep, heavy, and husky with it, and also sound angelic in her head voice. And like I said, I loved the choir behind her. It gave such a great sense of support. So I'm gonna give this performance a 8.9 out of 10 on the millimeter. I think I liked Where's My Husband better, and I also understand how live performances can be much harder because I myself have performed live, and I understand that when I'm practicing by myself, to me it sounds a lot better compared to when I'm performing live. But I think she did an incredible job, and the song was a really great display of emotion. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this reaction, or even if you didn't, please consider subscribing to the channel. Tell me what you guys thought of Raye's live performance of Oscar-winning Tears in the comments below. Keep listening, and I'll talk to you guys later. And I think I might do some more Raye just because people really wanted me to review her other stuff. So might be doing some more Raye. You'll just have to find out. It felt very movie soundtrack